Good
Oh, that's my
morning.
sleeve. Sorry.
It's all
Hello.
right. You're already ruining the show. It's fine. Welcome back to the Disney Morning Show from Laughing Place. I'm Kyle. I'm the editorial director for Laughing Place. And joining me and once again in charge of the comments is Tony.
I, I was going to ask privately, but hello, everybody. I'm in charge of the comments.
Yes, he is. And we're going to get to some of the news that's been happening over the past few days while we have not had a show. But we're going to start this one the way we start every show. So the last time we checked in on the Disney stock, it was almost a week ago. A lot has changed, and it's been an eventful week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lemon, it's Thursday.
I'm
But
surprised it's still January.
yeah, last time we checked it, it was $107.42. Today, as of this minute, well, let me refresh to make sure it's this minute, but it is over 110, so it has risen quite a bit. Oh, it fell ever so slightly there. 110.17. So yeah, it's chugging along, not near its all-time highs, but getting closer to where I own some shares.
All right. Well, Nikki says, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, which I'm assuming is the Cotter theme song.
My dreams were
And
my ticket out, and yet here the
the
dream
genie.
the names have all changed since
Glad
I
we're
hung
back too.
around, but those dreams still remained, and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd need me right back? Anyway,
Now do Perfect Strangers.
so before we get to the weather, before we get to another return, I've been watching this channel on Plex. I guess it's also on
Okay.
Pluto now too, but it's Drew Carey show, Growing Pains, and Perfect Strangers, and they just like show the entire series and sometimes play it
Interesting.
again and again. So we've watched a lot of Drew Carey and we watch a lot of Growing Pains, but we've every time Perfect Strangers, I'm like, okay, well we'll check back on this channel in a couple of days and see what's going on. Maybe I'd like it, but maybe not.
Kyle's not a fan of Balky Bartakamoose.
Sure. But anyway, let's get to the weather. Guess who's here, Tony?
Thomas.
It's our friend Ethan.
Good
Oh, okay.
morning and welcome to another LP Disney weather report. It felt like springtime on this February morning. In a courtyard, birds were singing your praise. I'm still recalling things you said to make me feel. All right, I carry them with me today. Now as I lay me down to sleep, this I pray, that you will hold me dear. Though I'm far away, I'll whisper your name into the sky, and I will wake up happy. Let's get to the weather. Anaheim will be sunny and warm today with a high of 80 but an evening low of 60. Meanwhile, Walt Disney World won't even make it to 50 degrees today. On top of that, showers will be possible during the afternoon and early evening. Castaway Cay is 75 today, so I guess that would be a Doobie pick of the day, assuming, of course, that Doobie still gets to pick even when he's not on the show. Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point is partly cloudy and sticking right around 78. Disneyland Paris has been raining this evening, but it should just be cloudy going forward. Alas, the 46-degree high will feel like 39, so still no fun. Tokyo will have a sunny day tomorrow and make it to a high of 56. Shanghai will see a similar high tomorrow but will be overcast for much of the day. Lastly, Hong Kong will reach a high of 67 tomorrow and the sun will break through in the late afternoon. And that will do it for another Disney weather update. Have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
So Nikki B owns the balcony also. Jeannie's saying welcome back to Ethan. And Nikki B and myself also love Ethan's shade towards me when he's not mentioning the
He's just
upcoming
commenting.
Sophie B. Hawkins dance.
Yes, this Sophie B. Hawkins. There's a yes, yeah, never mind. But yeah, so
It's one of
we
the few
got
community episodes I've seen.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a decent one. It's the best of that. It's in the top two of that season because that is not the best season. But we got some big news this morning.
Yep.
At long last, the Oscar nominations were announced for the 97th Academy Awards. This was the announcements were delayed a couple of times because of the wildfires. But yeah, Disney got 15 nominations. I didn't put the exact number in the headline because I didn't want to have accidentally missed something. But then Disney themselves counted 15, so I'm good there. Led by a complete unknown, a real pain also. being up there, but let's go through some of them. So Best Picture, A Complete Unknown, which is the Timothy Chalamet, James Mangold, Bob Dylan movie. That got a Best Picture nominee. Timothy Chalamet also named for actor in a leading role. And Monica Barbaro and Edward Norton both nominated in supporting categories. And then also in the supporting category, A Real Pain, Kieran Culkin, which he won at the Golden Globes. Yep. Of course, they also split genre, so doesn't mean that he's a shoo-in this time. Jesse Eisenberg got nominated for screenplay. For original screenplay, Complete Unknown got nominated for adapted screenplay. And another notable, some other ones here, Sugar Cane, which is a documentary from National Geographic that our own reviewer, Marshall, really enjoyed, is nominated for Best Documentary. Tony, I know you're going to talk about Inside Out 2's nomination in a moment. And then also I thought this one was interesting. Never Too Late, from Elton John, Never Too Late, got a Best Song nomination. But that was the only Disney nomination in that category that they usually do pretty well on.
Yeah, they're usually pretty high in there. Especially, I know they submitted some for Moana 2, but Moana 2 got nada. Maybe because all those Oscar voters realized, oh, this might have been for television.
Maybe. But you wanted to say something about IO2.
So I was going to say Inside Out 2, as much as I loved it, not a chance this year. Don't hedge your bets on Inside Out 2. There's a movie called Flow that took home the Golden Globe. It was first brought to my attention by the voice of Gloria from Big City Greens, Anna Akana, and she posted about how Flow is just emotionally destroying everybody, which got my attention. And then it swept the animation stuff at Golden Globes and future awards that I'm sure, like the Annies. It's completely dialogue free, and it just tells the story of a group of animals. But my point is, Inside Out 2, no matter what you're rooting for, it's probably third in line this year because the Wild Robot,
all those emotions, also, and still doesn't match the emotion of the movie
of this other movie called Flow. And then the Wild Robot, the only thing I'll have going for it is Flow is not widely released. It's kind of an indie hit, but it's supposed to come out in Cinemark in the coming weeks, so we'll see. But
was there a Pixar short called Flow or something?
Yes, there was, and it's not the same. That was a Spark
I figured,
short.
But
yeah, it's a Spark short. Is that the one with? I think that's the one with the grandma.
Maybe
when they're trapped in the cave.
Pearl is
Pearl, yeah. And then there's I love the Spark shorts. I hate their names because there's like Pearl, Flow, Out, Float is also one of them. Actually, I think we might be mixing Float with something else.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Float, not Flow. Oh, it's about a cat. There's a cat in this movie.
Oh yeah, that's the main critter. But the Wild Robot has also been getting a lot of awards talk too. So even if it's not Flow, I think the Wild Robot's next in line, and especially because that one's also widely known and widely released. So,
well, yeah, congratulations to those nominees.
But yes, Pixar, hooray!
The one that I didn't include, I guess, Wicked was nominated for visuals, and
ILM.
That's ILM. Which is funny because the first time they said Wicked, I was about to write it down because we write about Wicked for Universal, the theme parks, and so I was like, "Oh wait, that's not ours." But cool for Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo.
Do you
both got nominations?
It's gonna pull a Lord of the Rings, where we're not gonna hear anything about it award season other than nominations, and then when the next half comes out, it's gonna be the sweep of them all. Where like Lord of the Rings got nominated visual effects here and there, stuff like that. But as soon as that third one hit, the last one, because they all were filmed back to back, just like Wicked. So and that's when they're like, okay, great, and it swept everything. So
nice.
That's what we'll Morgan, see. I think might happen with Wicked.
Yeah. Well, the Oscars are coming up. I should have had the date written
March
down.
2nd.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Still got a bit. But heading into the park, near the park, heading into the resorts, Tony, some new merchandise at Disney Springs.
Yeah, at the Marketplace Co-op, which is known to constantly cycle out new store concepts, they have opened up the Run Disney store, which is a lot of generic Run Disney stuff. And I mean that in terms of it is not specific to one Run Disney event or anything like that. It's just Run Disney branded athletic garb.
Yeah, I kind of like some of it. Obviously, there's lots of other athletic wear that you can find in Disney Springs. Is there a Fabletic store there or something?
There is a Fabletic store. There
There's a
used to be, or is a Lululemon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Spirit
there's a couple of different. Then there's the Fit to Run. There it is. Fit to Run is also out there, in the covered portion of the town center, which has a name that I don't remember, but
Is it not just called Town Center?
it is. But it's like in the story of it, there's a thing to this building. So it used to be where the Lucky Brand store is. Anyway,
Yeah. And Nothing But Water or Everything But Water?
yeah, over by Chicken Guy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Run Disney, we also got the themes for the Wine and Dine half marathon weekend, as far as which characters will star in it. And they also kind of went with different themes of meals.
Yeah.
So we got Mushu and Mulan for this breakfast themed 5K, which I love this logo here with the bacon and the egg and the pie. I think that looks cool. Olaf, I guess this would be like a picnic lunch for the 10K. The Lady and the Tramp half marathon, 13.1, and the breadsticks and spaghetti there, so for dinner. And then, of course, there's the 2-course challenge, 19.3 miles. That's the 10K and the half marathon. And that's, I guess you'd call it dessert with Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. So I've never done the Wine and Dine. I've always wanted to. It's one of the most popular races that they do every year, so it sells out pretty quickly. But
And this year, I'm going to have to start training because we want those Lady and the Tramp medals.
So that's the 13.1. Wow.
Yeah. So I'll put in my resignation right before we leave. But
you can do so.
I don't think you guys are going to cover my death.
Having done a half marathon without training before, you'll be able to do it. It's just the next couple days when you can't walk. That gets a little bit dicey. So yeah, if you can do any sort of training, even just jogging and learning to jog through the burning in your loins. Anyway, good luck with that. Let me know how that goes.
You will. I'm sure it'll be on the news.
We're going to head into the parks now to talk about some new merchandise at Epcot.
Real quick, I'm going to catch up with Fred, who is late, but it's all right. It's okay. And he's referring to Flow here, basically a film adaptation of Stray.
Okay. Not familiar.
Yeah. Over in Epcot, there's an interesting new line of merchandise. I call it the generic Mickey pose. Because he's on everything, but now he is doing it in different cultural garbs of World Showcase at Epcot.
Yeah, so there's all these different shirts, individual shirts for the different countries, and then there's also this like spirit jersey that kind of has a collection of them. And what I like is that they have it for the most part in the actual language. So like you saw up here, Deutschland instead of Germany, which I don't know how we got Germany from Deutschland and why we don't just call it Deutschland if they call it Deutschland. So yeah, that's.
Can you keep saying Deutschland?
Deutschland. Italia.
Hold on, go back to Italia.
This is Nippon.
I'm gonna need my royalties for that because that is also tattooed on my chest.
Is it?
No. It's just
I don't know your life.
Yeah.
But these are cute. I
like the Canada one a lot too.
Yeah, the Canada one's fun. But this spirit jersey, I would totally buy that if it were not probably $80 or whatever they charge for spirit jerseys these days.
So when I first saw that we were going to talk about that today, I thought it was because there's 3 different collections in Norway that came out. And I thought we were going to talk about
too,
those.
but it's been a while.
Okay. But there's a spirit jersey in there that has like the Northern Lights pattern and has the giant Epcot logo on the back. And I'm a little surprised that the Epcot logo is not anywhere on that one, but it does have all the different Mickey's in his outfits. So
I'll have to look at Northern. I don't think I looked at that, but now I'm very interested.
Nikki B says, I like the France one.
I
Which one would you get?
Let me go back to it. Pull this back up here. Well, there's more to take. There's the Mickey part of it, but there's also like the ringer color. I like Japan.
Fair.
I don't love this design. I mean, this one's got the most going on, I think. I mean, that's pretty fun too. I don't know, probably I like the France one, but then it's also kind of I like the one that one's just the same in English. At least having like a different name or like the different language on there makes it because otherwise you're just like I'm promoting a country instead of promoting a country in World Showcase. That line's not there for people who are uninitiated. But over at the other coast in downtown Disney, we got a preview of some of the shops coming there. So I will say preview of this shop. This is the Disney Storyland Boutique. It's opening tomorrow at 9 a.m. We learned that. And these photos came from Disney. But it's kind of similar to the one that they just opened at Disney Springs not too long ago. That's got the sort of emoji characters on the wall and stuff. They talked about the kawaii influence that they adopted for the look of this store. Lots of plushes, lots of fuzzy things. This will have the create your own headband will be headquartered there. And then these are shoulder plushes for Inside Out and Inside Out 2 that, clip to have the magnetic thing. Those you can also find on DisneyStore.com right now if you want those. They just released those yesterday and it will be part of this shop. But not far from that, they also yesterday marked the debut of a new candy shop at Disney called Disney Wonderful World of Sweets. And Tony, they introduced an original character for this candy shop.
Oh,
Its
what?
name is Poppy, which they confirmed is derived from the term popcorn. But this is a popcorn bucket and line of
How
popcorn
clever.
that you can get. So yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit, more than a little bit. It looks like Star. Maybe they just took some Star merchandise from Wish and remolded the top or something.
Yep. They remanufactured it and said, "Don't worry about the muzzle. Keep it the same."
Yeah. But so that is kind of interesting. I was joking with Ben. I was like, oh, is this the first original character they've created for the park since Figment? If you'll remember that whole controversy about
who was that for?
It was for the gingerbread guy at Jollywood. They
Oh,
said that
right.
and we're like, that's not true.
No, not even close.
I guess his name is just Jolly, right?
Ollie.
Yeah. I knew it was something like you can only go two steps off of,
Yeah,
off
it
of
was-
the most
it's Ollie.
obvious thing. But yeah, this shop looks fun. It's just a candy shop, but it's got lots of colors and I like this up here. It turns Disneyland into Candyland.
Not to be confused with Storyland or Storybookland.
They got like 5 phrases. So yeah, that is now open at the Disneyland Resort.
Hey, thanks, Christian. Christian's saying our amazing stream.
Thank you. I will also say that this candy shop reminds me a little bit of the ones I've seen photos of on the Disney Cruise Line. And speaking of the Disney Cruise Line, Tony, we got some news about Gratuity.
We did. If you've already paid for a auto gratuity on cruises after January 23rd of next year, I believe is the date. Don't worry about what we're about to say. But if you haven't, auto gratuities are going up $1.50 per person per day. So if you're a non-concierge guest, that means it's now $16 per person per day. And if you're a concierge guest, it's going up $3.75 per person per day, making your daily total per person per day $27.25.
Yeah. So, and just a reminder, so they did change things back in October to where the gratuity for concierge includes more people than it did before. So that's why it's so much higher. But yeah, if you prepaid, so these will go into effect for sailing starting today, everything today forward. But if you already prepaid, then it
My
won't
apologies. I
affect
thought
you.
that started next year, so that
Nope.
explains the 23rd part. I'm still in 2024, guys.
It's okay.
We like it here.
You're so 2000 and late. But before we move on from this section, we are going to take a look at the Disney Plus top 10 using my TV 14 profile that I've named TV 14.
Oh, it's recommended for him. Like, there's no way Girl Meets World is #1 right now. Why?
Well, because I just watched Boy Meets World on this account right beforehand because they did a special Pod Meets World, so I wanted to revisit the episode that they were talking about. But anyway, the top 10 today. Oh, look at this. Academy Award nominees. These are some technicalities.
Yep.
And actually, if I went to my other one, you'd probably also see
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is another ILM one, right? Or no, well, it's still
yeah, but it's
Fox
also 20th
anyway.
century.
Yeah, never
But
mind. I lied.
Romulus was nominated, so that would probably be on here, as well as A Real Pain, if I didn't have it set to TV 14, because those are both rated R. But anyway, top 10. Tony, you'll be very happy to see that KIF, Lore of the Ring Light, is in first place.
This is why they ordered those 2 specials.
Followed by the live-action Lion King.
And get out of here.
Shifting Gears, Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, Goosebumps, The Vanishing, Skeleton Crew, High Potential, Lilo and Stitch 2. Stitch has a glitch. Very random pick there.
Yep.
Gypsy Rose, Life After Lockup. That is about my hometown. I was going to say hometown hero. That maybe dash of back off of that a little bit, but she is. This all happened in Springfield. That happened like right when we moved to Springfield a decade ago. There was all this story about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, so very interesting to see how that's played out over the past decade. And then Avengers Endgame. So there you go. But
I'm just happy KIF is #1. That's
and
awesome.
Speaking of KIF, we're gonna move on too.
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
Tony, you did a review of.
I did. Maybe that's why it's #1, huh?
I think so. I
Okay.
think you definitely had an influence on this. You influencer, you.
Yes, I was not possessed by the power of a ring light, by the way, but yes. No, KIF Lore of the Ring Light is, I believe my quote is, a masterclass in the art of parody, because I am not I have a basic 101 understanding of the Tolkien Lord of the Rings universe, which was enough to get by and enjoy this. My wife has a deeper understanding of it, and she's normally pretty passive on Lore of the Ring Light, but she's sitting here explaining stuff to me as we watched it. So that was exciting. And it helped me appreciate some more of like the lesser gags that otherwise were just good gags in the beginning. But it's fantastic. It's laugh out loud. They take the whole idea of possessing this magic ring of power, but it's a ring light, and whoever has it. And it's very, to compare KIF to one of the most successful television shows of all time. It's handsome Squidward. It's very reminiscent of that from SpongeBob. As soon as that ring light hits somebody, their face just becomes this essence of beauty, and they amass followers and legions of different followers, and influencers are all battling to get the ring light. And it's, for telling this story in 22 minutes, it's really well done and funny and fantastic. And it's the only reason I gave it 4.5 out of 5 is because the song isn't nearly as catchy or good as some of the it's not to say it's bad, it's just not as the level I expect from KIF. So but that's the only reason that I docked it that little bit of point. Otherwise that might have been probably my first 5 out of 5. But
so I'm glad you do really enjoy KIF, and we've talked a little bit about Stugo before. Is Stugo kind of, I know it's only been a few episodes, but is it giving it KIF a run for its money?
And so it's a different canon. Stugo is just absolutely absurd and random and just so bonkers in the greatest way. They're both adult swim shows in disguise, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One is more traditional and the other is just, let's throw everything we can out the window. And that's what Stugo is. I think from the first few episodes, it was giving KIF, definitely Big City Greens, a run for its money is my favorite. But if I keep them in a different silo for both. They're both top notch. But Stugo might be edging out the favorite right now. So
Nice. Well, thank you for that review. And
yeah.
yeah, people are clearly tuning in if it's #1 on trending. So
Yeah,
very cool.
well, so they ordered a Halloween special, which was The Haunting of Miss McGravy's House, which is genuinely spooky. Morgan watched it with me once, and she was like, "I don't need to see that again," because
Aw.
there are parts where there's some stuff coming down the hallways, and it's genuine, like maybe a little bit of parental discretion on that one, even though it's still by 7. But and then the other one, Lord of the Ring Light, which is the one that came out on the 21st. Those were both ordered to appease the fans because we're still waiting on season 2. So, yeah, they said no. There's Kif's getting a lot of rewatches and on
People are
streaming and
sending
Disney
chunky
Plus,
texts telling
and they're
people to
sending
watch it.
chunky texts demanding more Kif, and I'm one of them. So,
Right. Well, with that,
excuse me.
speaking of
Tried to get that in there as we had the interstitial. Go on.
it's okay. Speaking of Adult Swim, we got some news about Family Guy, among other shows, returning to Fox broadcast. So you'll remember that Fox broadcast, a lot of the shows were produced by Fox. So the
Yep.
ones that were currently produced by Fox at the time that Disney bought 21st Century Fox assets are still produced by 20th Century, and there's been new ones since that are part of the animation domination lineup that aren't produced by Disney. But 3 that are returning soon. So Family Guy and The Great North will be back on February 16th. And then The Simpsons, which has already started its 36th season, it's taking a 3-month hiatus. It'll be back on March 30th. So I'm excited for that. I enjoy all of those shows. I will say it's been a while since I've caught up with the Great North. It was when we had linear TV and I could put it on and watch the whole thing. It was one that I enjoyed, but it wasn't one that I've kept up with like I have Bob's and Family Guy.
I've not caught up with Family Guy. I'm numerous seasons behind.
Well, I mean, it's one of those that, yeah, it's nice to. That's almost good because then when you do catch it on like FXX or something, you can just watch random episodes and enjoy it. Whereas those ones that you've seen all the time that you don't want to see again, there still has its moments, in my opinion. But we also got some news from ABC, Tony.
Oh yes, we did. Abbott Elementary coming back for a 5th season.
No brainer.
And then beyond that though, and also kind of a no-brainer if you've been paying attention, High Potential renewed for a season 2. This one, I'm not a big procedurals guy, and I caught the first episode of this one, and it had my attention, but I don't know if I could do it again and again and again. But a lot of people can, and I think I would. Would you say it was a surprise hit, Kyle?
I mean, when you call a show High Potential, I feel like you're giving it a certain amount of positivity, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I call it a surprise. I
Okay.
think, you know, they'd had good success with Will Trent yesterday. I think they're kind of finding this. It's like the new USA. Characters are welcome. Characters solving crimes.
So, but yes, so it is renewed for a season 2, well ahead of the conclusion of the first season. So it pulled in some pretty big ratings, went their fall break, and then now that it's back, it became the most viewed episode, I believe, on ABC.
Yeah, it does really well like on streaming after the fact.
Yep. Yes, it does.
But cool. We're gonna move on to. So Tony, did you know that we here on Laughing Place recently launched a new show?
Oh, I heard about it.
Yeah, it's called Laughing Place on Location. That's me doing YouTube face, something I never thought I'd do and didn't intentionally do.
I didn't know YouTube Face had a name.
It's called YouTube Face,
Yep.
I think. But yeah, so this is a new series. It's a vlog style series. It'll take you to different things that are both Disney parks related and then also things that aren't explicitly Disney but have maybe some Disney connection. So I did my best to go around CES and kind of put it in context for Disney fans and share how the CES convention is far different from like a D23 or even like a Comic-Con. And then also to try to find any sort of semblance of Disney that I could. So the first episode, well, Osimo for one thing. That was a nice surprise. Yeah, lots of robots in this one. But yeah, so the first episode is out now with me at CES. It'll be out every Sunday morning. It'll premiere at 7 in the morning Pacific, but of course, it's YouTube. You can watch it anytime. Future episodes this Sunday will have Mike at Lunar New Year, and then the week after that, we'll have Alex at the Sundance Film Festival. So that should be a really exciting one. But yeah, please check it out. Let us know what you think. It's something different for us, but it's a project that we're excited about.
I'm going to need you to give me another YouTube face right now. Or they got away with what? Do that one. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful.
So
I look forward to this.
I have a story about this before we move on. I refuse to do YouTube face. I know it's better for engagement, but so on my personal finance channel, I'm like, how can I get around this? How can I kind of do what you're supposed to without actually doing it? And so my workaround was I took pictures of me doing different YouTube faces and then had Jess Mack do sketches of me. So I use sketch versions of, every YouTuber has like 5 poses that they recycle. I have my 5 poses in animated form that I put on my thumbnails for my personal finance channel. So.
Speaking of animated, Fred rewatched Lion King 1.5 last night. So much better than Mufasa. At least Timon and Pumbaa were not annoying, and I can't get that Dig a Tunnel song out of my head.
My friend who is big in like Letterboxd and stuff did a review of Mufasa written while he was still watching the end of the movie because he hated it that much and stopped caring and refused to even give it a rating because he says it doesn't deserve one. I was like, wow, that's strong.
I'm debating starting a Letterboxd myself, but we'll see.
I would like to see you do a Letterboxd.
Okay, then I'll do it because Kyle said. Hold on.
Thank you.
Kyle.
It'll be a new feature.
There you go.
It'll be a future feature on a morning show where Tony gives his latest letterbox. It can be part of.
The fun stuff.
I have a couple fun stories to bring you today. First of all, Viviana is a hippo at Kilimanjaro Safaris in Disney's Animal Kingdom. Just celebrated her 50th birthday and doesn't look a day over 49. And so they gave her some sweet watermelon, some of her other favorite treats to celebrate her birthday, which I thought was cute. And something else that's very, very cute is over in Tokyo. As you've probably heard, they have the special overlay, It's a Small World, with Groot. And our correspondent over there was able to go get some photos. So I just kind of wanted to go through some of these. We've seen some of these poses, but I think this is so fun. Groot here with his fake Beefeater hat and chilling with Rocket. I also like the way that they've done some of the other Marvel characters here. So you have Smart Hulk in Greece.
I noticed that one and I laughed.
Yeah. Also, there's a part where he does his best impression of a classic It's a Small World character here with his umbrella in the rainforest.
Now,
that's Jane Foster Hulk.
I've seen some people on the internet say they should bring this stateside.
Well,
what do you think, Kyle? Yeah,
I don't mind it as an overlay. I don't think. I think. I don't know. People are going to complain no matter what you do, but
yep.
I would embrace it. I mean, I don't think the Disney character element is nearly as bad as everyone made it sound for the however many months before it happened. Are you shaking your head? No, it's not bad, or no, you don't?
No,
like
it's not bad. Okay. I remember everybody made a big deal about it, and I went on it, and this is nothing. This is cute.
Yeah, and it's fun. Yeah. I think, but yeah, I wouldn't mind as an overlay. As a permanent thing, then yeah, probably not. But especially at like Disneyland, where you have a lot of people going regularly and so it could use something
I would
different.
think Florida, but we all know overlays in Florida kind of stick around for a while. So see also Donald's Dino Bash. But yes.
Yeah. Imagine how long the line would be the first day that this opened at Disneyland after everyone complained about it for months on end. That's how it works. But anyway, Tony, it's time for your quiz as soon as I find the button. So the first one I'm actually not going to make you guess. I just wanted to mention that on this day in 1998, there was a movie released direct to video called I have to add it to the stage.
What?
The Wonderful Ice Cream Suit. And as
I never
would
would have
have
guessed that, so thank you for
our
not
own
letting me
Bill
know.
Dalzell just recently wrote about this and actually said it was really good. So you can read about that on Laughing Place. So I just thought it was funny that its anniversary just arrived. But the first one I'm going to make you guess is on this day in 1999, a Disney Channel original movie was released.
Oof. Okay.
I think you'll get it based on this poem. In a future that's quite far away, a teen with some tech leads the way. With space stations in sight, she'll battle the fight. That's a stupid sentence. To save Earth from a high-tech dismay.
It's the first Xenon, right?
It is Xenon, girl of the 21st century.
But isn't she's not saving Earth, she's saving the space station.
I don't know. I never seen it. Chatty hasn't seen it either.
Oh, okay. I also heard Chatty was down today. I don't know if that's true.
I guess I got these poems before that. But yeah, Xenon, I knew you'd get that because it's probably one of the most well-known, even among people who don't know DComs.
One of my guesses was going to be Xenon or Brink.
Yeah. For this next one, I'm going to
maybe Smart House or Alley
I'm going to need the full title of this one. 2001. This is a regular movie, hit theaters. A man in his prime, full of zest, wakes up with a past to digest. A child in his place with a mischievous face. Now he's stuck in a world quite perplexed.
2001?
Yeah.
I got nothing on that one.
Benji, what's...
4.5 something?
Who is it, Ben? What is it?
It's Disney's The Kid.
It is Disney's The Kid. That is the full title, yes. Cameo.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have got that one. Sorry.
No, it's okay. But I'm glad Benji understood the Disney's The Kid.
I thought that was
always
that a
referred to as
baseball movie?
Disney's The Kid. No, that was...
What am I mixing up?
The Rookie?
Maybe.
I don't know. On this day in 2006, an attraction opened at Disney's California Adventure, replacing an infamous ride, and this ride is still available today.
Oh, Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue.
Yes. Replaced the beloved Superstar Limo, and has been rumored to
After
close
5
for a long
years
time.
of being closed, is that still replaced at that point?
4 years, but yeah. So
Still technically part of the 50th, even though it was 2006.
yeah. Finally, on this day in 2015, a movie was released in theaters. In a forest of creatures bizarre, a spell makes the heart wander far. With love's twisted might, they'll dance through the night and chase dreams beneath moon and star. This is an animated film, Tony.
In 2015?
In 2015, but it's not from a studio that you would expect. And I just gave it away because I hit enter too soon.
I'm guessing, would not have got
Sorry.
that.
Wow, yeah, Strange Magic from Lucasfilm.
Okay.
Not to be confused with Strange World, right? That's the Disney
Right.
one. Yeah,
Or Magic.
both so memorable. Yeah, Strange Magic, Lucasfilm. Something that must have just come with the acquisition and they just kind of dumped out there. Here's a hint. When movies open in January, especially like mid-January,
Yeah.
they're not like Oscar movies.
Well, that's why I didn't think animated as soon as you said January.
I mean, that rule has kind of been broken a little bit because there's been big movies. When Marvel started, like when the first Black Panther came out in February, or even when before that, when Alice came out in March and did really well, that was kind of them saying, okay, so you don't need to just have tent poles at Christmas and in the summer. You could kind of put them anywhere. But still, January is usually the worst.
Typically
month,
animated,
which
though,
we've
you're going
done
to see
stuff.
May or November, regardless.
But Tony, I have some breaking news. I have it confirmed
Another YouTube face.
that that Doobie will be returning to the morning show tomorrow.
Oh, what? Okay.
So everyone
It's a
can
good
tune
thing because
in
I think I
then.
start later.
I didn't even look at the schedule. I just decided to ask Doobie if he would be returning. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Let me check the Parks blog. I'm sure Benji would have sent me something if something did post, but I will look anyway. Nope, nothing on the Parks blog. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us today. Anything else you wanted to say, Tony?
Just that Fred Ramirez is ready to welcome back Doobie. Sorry,
He'll be
Fred,
back.
because I didn't cut it.
No, you did great. I appreciate you being here. I'm just, you know how it is.
I know. Regularity is key.
Well, we'll be back, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.